won't be allowed to attend high school volleyball and football games starting today.
And now the decision by the West Fargo and Fargo school leaders come at a time when access to games had already been limited to slow down the spread of COVID-19. Families will have the option to live stream the games from home, but many say that's not enough.
I guess I feel like we should be able to go if, we are wearing masks, and I feel like that has worked well, and I think that would be good if we could just keep going and still wear masks.
I think it's kind of a bummer. I mean, this is one of the stimulation for the players to play in front of fans and stuff, and now they take that away too. So with that whole COVID thing, it's getting really cut into the peoples.
For more information on the school's decisions, just find this story on our VNL News app.
10 minutes before the top of the hour, and you might actually have to grab that brush from your car to brush off some of the flurries that have landed out there this morning, Summer. It's kind of a snowy one out there.
It is. Some of us woke up to a little bit of snow on the ground, and here's the current look at our Valley Sky Camp. Still seeing a little bit of that snow in those grassy surfaces, the roadways looking just a little bit wet. The snow has moved out of the Fargo area, now headed out of the Barnesville region, heading towards Breckenridge and Fergus Falls and out towards Perham. Might see a little bit of light snow as well. And it's a very chilly start to the morning yet again. Grab that winter coat and bundle up those kids headed towards the bus stop. Your air temperature, 21 degrees in Langdon and Hallock, 19 in Roseau, 25 in Baudette and Grand Forks, 32 in Fargo, and some 30s points off to the south. But just a little bit of wind, feels very cold. Your wind chill up in Langdon, 9 degrees. Feels like 18 in Devil's Lake, 11 in Hallock, 13 in Thief River Falls, as well as in Roseau, and feels like 20s down to the south. Your sunrise in Fargo today will be around 7:46, and we will see some sunshine working its way in for the afternoon, so enjoy it while it lasts because we have snow on the way. Here's your hour by hour for the winter system that will be moving in. This is at 11 o'clock tonight. That snow beginning to form up in northwestern North Dakota, stretching down towards the James River Valley. Now, one thing that's still a question this morning is where that rain-snow transition line will be. This morning it looks like right along I-94. So in Fargo, we might just see rain. We might see some snow. There's a better chance of accumulating snow north of I-94. And once the snow system moves out, the wind is going to pick up as well. So just something to keep in mind heading into tomorrow afternoon. But we could see some accumulating snow, again, along and north of I-29, just a trace or maybe even rain south of I-29. 1 to 4 inches is our current outlook for this blue shaded area. Isolated 6 inches, not out of the question, and lesser amounts down to the south.
Thank you, Summer. Drive sober or get pulled over. That campaign officially starts today.
Law enforcement across the state are using this month-long campaign to stop underage drinking along with drinking and driving. The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod tells us what you can expect to face if you get pulled over buzzed behind the wheel. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. Starting now until November 15th, they're going to use this month just to go ahead and try to do compliance checks. We want to let you know that this is used for all drivers, but mostly to put in that personal preference of aiming towards those younger generations under 21 to let them know not to drink and drive as well. Now, as everyone knows by now, drinking under the age of 21 is illegal. Anyone of any age should know that drinking while driving is also illegal and very dangerous. This goes along with always wearing a seatbelt and not driving distracted. According to Vision Zero, 265 people have died in North Dakota over the past 5 years from alcohol-related crashes. Alcohol is also a factor of between 40% to 50% of crashes in our state annually. With statewide DUI arrests, there has been exactly 4,644 arrests in 2019 and 3,220 arrests so far in 2020. Now, a person may not drive or be in actual physical control of a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, with a blood alcohol content level of 0.08. If you refuse to do the chemical test required by law, it can lead you to losing your driving privileges for 180 days to 3 years. Penalties for DUIs for minor in the vehicle is imprisonment for 360 days and a $3,000 fine. Criminal vehicular injury results up to 5 years in jail and on homicide up to 20 years. So this is a reminder to make sure you don't drink and drive. If you are behind this driver's seat, or let's say you're a friend in the passenger seat but you have someone else driving in the seat and you've been under any kind of influence of alcohol, do not drive at all. Call friends, family, taxis, Uber. Call someone else to drive you home so you're not putting anyone else at risk. This is 100% preventable.
Thank you, Brian. Great reminders. He's reporting live for us this morning. Cass County is now just one risk level color away from all non-essential businesses being forced to shut down again. It would leave takeout as the only form of revenue for many local restaurants.
But at this point, many places say that might be better than the current situation.
If you put us all the way to red and shut us down, I would at least expect the government to sort of step in, and everyone would be receiving unemployment. There would be some sort of support. Putting us in orange is essentially setting up businesses to fail.
There are public servants, and they're not serving us at all.
Governor Doug Burgum says that he strongly encourages North Dakota businesses to require a mask, and the owner of Blackbird says he did so earlier this week and it has already caused issues for some of his customers.
Meanwhile, the assistant general manager at Beer and Fish Company says they have no mask rules right now because he feels like taking a side would mean losing customers.
The Minnesota Senate is passing a nearly $1.9 billion public works construction package. The House finally broke months of partisan stalemate and approved that bill. Now it's known as the bonding bill, and it was the biggest piece of unfinished business left over from the 2020 regular session. The Senate voted 64-3 to send the bill to Governor Tim Walz's desk.
The bill will fund needed infrastructure projects and create jobs across the state. President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden held dueling town halls last night.
The two candidates were supposed to have their second presidential debate, but it was canceled after the president tested positive for COVID-19 and then declined to do a virtual debate. Laura Podesta is in Washington with the highlights.
Former Vice President Joe Biden said President Trump has not taken the coronavirus seriously.
Americans don't panic, he panicked.
In a town hall moderated by ABC News' George Stephanopoulos, Biden said it's a president's job to lead.
And when a president doesn't wear a mask or makes fun of folks like me when I was wearing a mask for a long time, then, people say, well, it mustn't be that important.
In a separate event on NBC News, President Trump told moderator Savannah Guthrie the pandemic is almost over.
It's rounding the corner, and we have the vaccines coming, and we have the therapies coming.
Here on Capitol Hill, Republicans are hoping to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court by the end of the month. Biden was pressed if he would try to add more justices to the high court if Democrats sweep the election.
But don't voters have a right to know where you stand?
They do have a right to know where they stand, and they'll have a right to know where I stand before they vote.
President Trump was again asked to denounce white supremacy.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
He was also questioned on his Twitter activity, specifically his retweet of a fringe conspiracy theory that Biden orchestrated the killing of SEAL Team 6 to cover up the fake death of Osama bin Laden.
I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
You're not like someone's crazy uncle who can just retweet whatever.
President Trump and Biden will face off in the final presidential debate on Thursday. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Donald Trump says he doesn't know if he was tested for coronavirus the day of the last debate. But 2 days later, we do know he tested positive for COVID-19.
Now Biden says that he hopes the president will be tested before arriving at this upcoming debate. According to scientists at the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, scorching temperatures around the world have made September of 2020 the hottest September since they started keeping records back in 1880.
Climatologists said unusually high temperatures recorded off Siberia, in the Middle East, and in parts of South America in September are also contributing to 2020 being a remarkably hot year. And now for our happily ever after featuring former NBA star Dwayne Wade. I love this. Ryan Bosch was down on one knee in front of his now fiancée, Katie, when, look at who showed up behind him. They were in Southern California when the three-time NBA champion accidentally photobombed the proposal. And apparently he loves love too. The series of Instagram photos show Wade taking a sunset stroll, then putting his hand on his heart in awe when he realized that he was witnessing a proposal. So why not? Join in on the fun. He took pictures with the couple and then responded to their Instagram post saying it was dope to witness your guys' love. And he said you better make it last because he feels invested in it now.
All right, some pretty good stuff there. But let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question, a new survey asked people what foods they hated as kids, but they now like as an adult, and this came in at number 1.
This is a good one. Asparagus. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.